I am Alen Stellian, the Midlife Empowerment Coach, and today I am thrilled to introduce Scarlett DeBease. Scarlett is a personal wardrobe stylist who shows women entrepreneurs what clothes to wear so they'll make more money and attract better clients. She guides her clients to create their own unique signature style, feel fearless and confident, to be seen and heard, and excited to put themselves out to the world in a way that is game-changing. As the founder of Scarlett Image Consulting and author of Stop Stressing About Dressing, her one-of-a-kind in-person and worldwide online workshops reveal how a more powerful presence leads to more opportunities and more profit. So Scarlett, welcome. I just cannot wait to hear more about how we can stop stressing about dressing.
Ellen, it's possible. It really is possible. So basically what it is that women, you can have everything going for you and you put something on and you just feel awful because it doesn't fit right, or you just, why doesn't it look good on me like it did on the mannequin or on my friend? And so it can take us down this rabbit hole of self-doubt and this low confidence. And then that spills out into everything that we do, whether it's business, whether it's relationships, wanting to even just get up in the morning. Everything is about how you feel about yourself. So my thing is that I love showing women how they can look absolutely gorgeous in the bodies that they have, not without spending a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot to look great. You have to know what to wear, and you have to know what to buy, and you have to know how to wear it. And everybody that has certain features that can be brought out in a great way with what you wear, accessories and colors and clothes, and then how to diminish what you don't like or what you don't want to show people. It's all possible. Nobody's perfect. There is no such thing. So not knowing what to wear is stressful, but not doing anything about it, it's just self-destructive. So I try to help women not go down that hole, So basically, when it comes to, some tips to use to be able to open up your closet and actually find an outfit in a few moments and not make a mess in your bedroom in the process, is by going through certain guidelines, what works for your features. And I start with colors. I always start with helping a woman know what her best colors are and the ones to avoid. And you can do that a little bit on your own by when you put something on and look and see what happens to your eyes and to your skin tone and to your teeth color and your eye color. And if things start to look yellow or pink or gray or way too red, then it's not a good color for you and it's not going to be flattering. And so therefore, you shouldn't be wearing it, and you definitely shouldn't be buying it. Because there are reasons why when you put something on and you don't like it, but you don't know why, but then when you find out why, it's like, oh, that explains it. And sometimes it's the color. And another thing is that you have to go for fit, meaning it kind of has to fit you now. It can't be something that once fit you and you hope it'll fit again, because if you're wearing that, it's going to be too small. And when you wear things that are too small, it makes us look bigger. And I also recommend not holding on to clothes that are too small, that you can't wear now in your main closet, because it's going to constantly remind you of that you're not where you want to be, if that's your goal. And honestly, if keeping clothes that are too small for us in the closet were really a really successful incentive, we would all be very, 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 very thin. It doesn't really work as an incentive. So only have in your closet the clothes that fit you now, because then you'll be able to find things far more easily and also not go through that, oh God, why did I eat that? Or, how come I can't lose the weight? Our bodies change. Everybody's changed. No matter how thin somebody is, her body is not the same as it was before. Even though she might be the same size, things are in different places. It happens to everybody. So go for things that fit you now. It is amazing how much thinner a woman can look, and a guy, when you wear something that fits you well, as opposed to too big or too small. And it's amazing how much thinner we can look when we wear clothes that fit us. So I always recommend that when you go try something on, whether it's online, you order it online or in a store, take 2 sizes, order 2 sizes of something, take 2 in the dressing room, order 2 to be delivered. I mean, some of the stores must think I'm crazy, but if I see a top that I like, I'm going to order it in 2 sizes, because I know one of those 2 sizes is going to work. But I'd rather have it in my possession, especially when I got it on sale, than try to get it afterwards in a different size. And I always say, you go to fit the widest parts of your body and then take in any part that's too big. So for instance, if there's a pair of pants that you try on and the waist is too big, but it fits perfect at the hips, just skims those hips, then get the waist taken in, just like every man gets everything tailored. It's not a huge investment, but it will be able to give you a pair of pants or a dress or a skirt or a top that fits you at all the right points. It's almost like it's custom made, but it's not. And you're going to look so much better and feel so much better because you're wearing clothes that fit you now. Ignoring the fact that you're not the same size as you were before doesn't make it go away. You can't wish something away, but if you fit the body that you have now, it is amazing how fantastic you'd look and then you'd feel. And then that's really what comes down to the way you project, the way you make others feel always comes from how you make yourself feel first, always. And that's, I just worked with a woman who's in her 70s, and she just told me, she knows that, I still have some good years left, and I wish I hadn't waited so long to find out what works for me, so that I wouldn't be, wearing clothes that feel good. She said someone told her that you're old, nobody cares what you wear. I mean, someone told her that, a younger person. I mean, that is beyond disgusting and awful. And she very rightly said to me, but I care. And that's so true. In these times of COVID, a lot of women were saying, why bother? Who sees me? You see you. You see you. You see yourself in the mirror every day. And there is no perfect, but you can totally look your best. And you can, totally feel fabulous when you're wearing the right clothes. So anyway, I'm going from color, I go to fit, and I always suggest try shopping in a store you don't usually shop in, or buying a line, a manufacturer, designer, whatever. That's not something you usually buy. If you say you have nothing to wear, if you say you have a hard time creating outfits, or you don't like anything you own, then you need to stop shopping at the places you've been shopping at, because all you're doing is buying more of the same, doing the same thing. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make any change. Nothing's going to go poof, and all of a sudden you're going to have a bunch of outfits if you're always shopping at the same place, if in fact you say you have nothing to wear. So try someplace new. I mean, just, go crazy, have some fun, try something new on that you would never try on before, because that's how you're going to discover. Like when I pick something out for a client, in person or virtually, I've been doing virtually for 7 years, so nothing new for me. And I always say you have to trust me, because I'm going to recommend that you order things that you would not have picked out for yourself. And 9 out of 10 times, those are the very things that she ends up loving and keeping. But because we have these set ideas of what works for us or what we think is right, we don't try something new. It's the same thing with food. You got to try something new once in a while to discover how delicious something is. And so with the clothing, how fabulous something can look on you. So don't look at a hanger and say no, and don't look at the picture and go no. You got to experiment a little bit. It's the best thing in the world, in everything in life, but especially with your clothes. It's amazing. So, and then, I recommend that you not buy what you already have. Very common. Women tend to buy like a magnet, attracted to what they already have. I mean, like, how many black pants does somebody really need? How many white shirts does somebody really need? And by the way, white's not always a great color for everybody. It depends on the person and their coloring and their features. How many, like this is a big thing. I heard a stylist say on Clubhouse the other day, well, when you find something that works for you, buy it in every color. And I am the total opposite. I'm like, no, if something works for you and it fits you beautifully, maybe buy one, maybe buy two. I prefer no more than that, if even two, but don't buy multiples of the same thing, because then all you can't make a whole bunch of new outfits if everything looks the same. Imagine a puzzle. If all the pieces are the same, there's no picture. So don't buy multiples. And the other thing about multiples is most women buy multiples, not because, oh my God, I love it, it looks so great on me. Most of the time they buy it because it just simply fits. And that's not a good enough reason to buy a lot of something. Just being thankful that you can get it over your head or over your hips is not a reason to buy a lot of it. And that is why a lot of women have a lot of clothes in their closet and they literally say they have nothing to wear. And back in the olden days, like 13 months ago, when a woman had an event to go to, instead of going to her closet and finding an outfit, she would think she had to go to a store and buy something new. And I cannot tell you how many times I will go in a woman's closet, in person or virtually, and find a brand new outfit. There was no need to go out and shop. But because so many women just think, I don't have it, I have nothing to wear. They don't realize that they do have things there that work. They just don't know how to look at it in a new way. And they don't know that they can try new things that they never thought of before. Another idea is that when you bought something, you probably bought the top to go with the pants and the jacket, and then you hang them up together, and that's how you wear it all the time. And I'm like, no, don't put anything together in your closet. Separate everything, because I can guarantee you that top can go with 3 other jackets in your closet, or toppers, as I call them, or another necklace or another pant that you never thought of before because you didn't buy it that way. I want, a woman should have all her clothes in the same color palette so they can all be mixed and matched. And then tons of outfits can be created. But don't buy something and only wear it that one way. You are shortchanging yourself. You're limiting how much you can do. So it's really, really, really important that you hang everything separate and look at everything as I look at everything as a brand new puzzle that I'll make with the different clothes. So sometimes I challenge people, just, don't wear what you wore for the last month at all for the next week. You can't touch those black leggings. You can't touch that one big top that you love to wear. You can't do any of those things. You have to pretend they're not there, and you have to go into your closet and put different clothes on. And it's amazing. People go, oh my God, I totally forgot I had that. Or I thought that didn't fit, but it does. Or, you know what? I thought being home, I shouldn't be wearing this, but it looks great and I feel good. I mean, there's things you could do out there with what you own. So I think I'll stop for a second here. Any thoughts or comments?
Yeah. Yes, I would love to have a conversation. Wow, you have given us so many amazing tips. So you talk about knowing your colors. And so you're talking about, like, you hold up something against your skin and you see sort of how it makes your skin or your eyes look. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So when I do this, and I'll take someone's photo and I superimpose it on colors, and then I can show, look what happens to your skin tone. Look how your eyes sparkle. Okay. If you look dull or overpowered or washed out, it's not right for you. Now, if this is something that you'll be able to tell because you're now aware of it. It's just not something that you think about until you're aware of it. So, for instance, if some people love to wear black, I have tons of it too. It's a color that works for me, but it can be very overpowering for some people. So instead of like saying, I can't wear it, and you have to throw it out, you could add accessories that are in better colors for you to go with it so that what's near your face works. I'm not talking about pants. I'm not talking about shoes. I'm talking about everything is what's near your face. That's what counts. And when you become more aware of it, you'll see it. Some people will put on white and it'll make their teeth look yellow. Not a goal.
Oh,
So
no.
that means you have to wear a softer white, a creamy color, but not the bright white. Little things like that
Interesting.
make a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, big difference. And so are you a believer in the whole spring, summer, fall, winter color groupings?
I do that, but there's a lot of in-betweens. And there's a lot of women that can wear more than one season now. So typically when we're younger, people would fall into one category. And then as we get older, things change about us. Our hair color, our skin tone changes a little bit, our eye color, the whites of the teeth, the whites of the eyes, they change a little bit. And so then you can start experimenting and wearing some other colors from different seasons. And then there are people out there with color who don't do seasons, but then they'll talk about flow and warm and cool and ballerina and all this other nonsense. And you know what I really do? I just tell a woman, these are the best colors for you. And these are the ones you shouldn't. And just call it a day. Because I don't think it has to be so woo-woo-ish and fancy. Okay? Right. Teal is a gorgeous color for you. Buy it whenever you can. Done. I don't know. It doesn't have to be so crazy.
So like, for instance, what are your colors? Like, do you have a certain, like, how limiting is the color scheme? And then does that mean you can accessorize with other colors, or are you just really kind of staying within that zone of colors?
I stay within a zone. So most of my palette is typically like a winter palette, which is jewel tones, white, black, jewel tones. Yeah. But as I've gotten older, I've been able to add more browns. My hair color is a little different, naturally, of course. It's naturally different. Yeah. But, so I'll wear a little brown more than I used to. But everything in my closet, I can combine and make a ton of outfits. So I don't buy anything unless I know it already goes with something that I have. There's no one-offs in my closet. And that's how everybody should shop. You should never buy anything and go, well, if I got another pair of pants, or if I got some shoes, or God forbid, I have to put on like Spanx or lose weight, don't buy it. Right. But everything that you buy should go. So like I was in London a few years ago and I bought this necklace. It was raining, which it always does. I ran into a store, saw this necklace, I bought it. I traveled to London with a carry-on bag. I only used a carry-on. It went with everything that I already had. Everything. So that's
you really like blue, because I'm looking behind you and it looks like you've got a lot of blue there, and it's one of my favorite colors. But yeah.
This I use because I have some men's clothes here too when I do corporate stuff. Yeah, when I do corporate presentations.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I do have a lot of blues in here, and I need to put them back in my closet because I want to wear some of them. Blue is typically shades of blue usually work for everybody. This yellow tone, they're blue-based tones, it gets more complicated. But I do like adding blues to a wardrobe, especially if you have blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes. I cannot tell you how many women I come across who have beautifully colored eyes and do not wear colors that bring out those eyes. It's really important my God, you got it, flaunt it. And wearing just black is not going to make your eye color pop. Not when you have beautiful.
Well, I love what you say about also if you're, because a lot of us do wear black. If you're wearing black, then you can add a pop of color. So it's really about what's close to your face. It doesn't, like the color of your pants doesn't matter so much.
Doesn't matter. Right. Yeah, you always want to, and I'm a huge believer in accessories. To me, it brings interest to an outfit. It shows creativity. It shows that you care about details. And so if you're a person who has a business and you want to attract new clients, you're not going to attract new clients by just throwing on a top and saying, hi, nice to meet you. You have to add more details, because that subliminally or subconsciously sends the message that the little things matter, and those little things add up. And that's how you have a successful business.
Yeah. Madeline, thanks for being here. She says skin and hair changes everything, and she finds that everybody looks great I know she's a former model, looks great in navy. And what other colors are neutral like navy, she asks.
Yeah, navy does work for most people. That's usually the one that I recommend for neutral. Teal works on almost everybody. Almost everybody.
Wow.
So I once did a group presentation, 20 women. I don't remember the details anymore, but only one woman, it wasn't her best color. But teal is a beautiful color for people. It really is gorgeous. It's beautiful on silver-haired women. It's beautiful on brown hair, dark hair, blonde. It's a beautiful color. And it's an interesting color. So
yeah, I would never have guessed that. I would have thought that teal was like yellow or something, like what color that yellow I would think is not for everybody.
Yellow is a color that typically you should just run for the hills because it's really hard to get right. It's really hard to get right. Yeah, but I did find for a client once, she was going to a conference, and so I helped her find a wardrobe for the conference, and I found her a yellow raincoat, and it was like the stunning yellow for her. And when she made that entrance to the conference, everybody knew who she was. It was gorgeous on her. But yeah, but it just happened to be just right. It's a very tricky color.
Madeline's asking if you happen to have something behind you that has teal in it, so she can see what you mean by that color.
This is kind of a teal color. I don't know how much. This is very sheer.
Oh yeah.
So. But this is a deep teal. That's a deep teal. That's all I have in here right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bluish green, or like an aquamarine kind of Mediterranean.
Because I was thinking teal more like a super bright teal, but I mean, I'm just like every other color. There's a whole range.
You're thinking more like, one day my husband's going to wonder where his shirt is. You're thinking more like something very bright.
Yeah, bright. Yeah, and more green, like green, blue,
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more muted, the teal that I'm talking about.
Because I am sad to say, speaking to Scarlett's admonition to us to, only buy what fits you and only have in your closet, I'm assuming, the things you wear. I don't know if it's the 1 year mark or what it is for you, but I would estimate I probably wear 20% of what's in my closet. And it's not because I have different sizes in my case. I don't know. I bought something and it's hard to get rid of. And maybe one day I'll want to wear it. And I feel like I wear the same clothes all the time. And it's even worse now in COVID. But is that, so like I don't know what you find with women, like that there's just a certain percentage, or that there's a lot of women who just pack their closets and they're really only wearing like this tiny amount of it.
Yeah, there's that whole Perotti, what I forgot the name, the 80-20 rule, but that's very typical that women wear, 20% of their wardrobe 80% of the time. That's how it works. So it's very common. It's not unusual. And that's why I sometimes do the challenge, to women like in Facebook, don't wear anything that you wore in the last month, even for a whole week. And that'll force you, it'll force you to go onto other things. So I had a client recently who had moved to this, home with this gorgeous walk-in closet, and she was getting upset every time she walked into the closet. I, on the other hand, would give anything for this walk-in closet because it was just a really nice, large space. And what happened was she had tons and tons of clothes, but most of them didn't fit her anymore. And if you can, so in the case of, because for most people, it's because a lot of it doesn't fit in. So first, get them out of the closet. And if you can't part with them because you're convinced you're going to go back to that size, get them out of the closet, pack them up, and put them away. But if they're the wrong color for you, you shouldn't keep it anyway, period. That's one thing. Right. And then the reason, I don't think you have to have a lot of clothes. So like one of my mottos is, you can have more outfits with fewer clothes than you already have. So if you're really only wearing 20%, maybe it's time to let go of some things, because I swear to you, you will have more outfits when you have less in your closet, as long as what's left in your closet fits you and is right for you. It is amazing how many more items or outfits you can be created by that. But the challenge though, you will really, why not put on a top that you haven't worn in the last 2 years while you're working from home? Why not? Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great. Don't save everything. Don't save.
I need to take your challenge. No, for sure. And I think it is depressing when you walk into a closet and a lot of the stuff is stuff that does not fit you.
Yeah.
Too big, too small,
Yeah.
whatever, especially if it's too small, like from another era, and you're like, oh, but someday, right? And it just, it's kind of makes you want to give up.
And a lot of women, you know, are like, well, when I lose weight, then I will have some new clothes, or then I'll find out what works for me, and then I'll go shopping. Okay. So the one day when I lose weight. Now, let's say this is a very dedicated person and she is in fact working hard and losing weight. If, you know, depending on how much weight we're talking about, it takes time. So the time that it takes, you're really going to deny yourself looking good and feeling good now. That doesn't work. And then honestly, and I'm one of them, this goal of losing weight, it just keeps being a goal. It's not really, you know, an actual, I mean, yeah, I might go 5 pounds, but then I go back up there, you know, but to really lose the 20 pounds that I wanted to lose when I only had to lose 10 pounds originally, and now it's 20. What if so that means I would have wasted 20 years of not having clothes that fit who you know, my body as it is now. I would have been miserable, you know, all that time just wearing a pair of leggings and a maternity top because I didn't want to, because it fit,
right?
You know, you know. So it's really important to, you know, no matter what your weight is, and no matter what your goal is, to treat yourself well now, because, as I said earlier, it really will affect how you feel about yourself and the message you give. And I've had a lot of mothers work with me because they realized that they were sending a very bad message to their daughters.
Oh, right.
You know? And you want to be careful what you pass on. You know, really careful.
Yeah, no, it's such an important message to, you know, focus on how you feel and not to deny yourself for the possibility of a future where you will weigh less and finally be able to buy those leather pants or whatever it is. You know, there's clothes made for every size, and like you said, since you don't have to have a huge wardrobe, you've told us you can have a few pieces and mix and match them. It's not like you have to buy a whole wardrobe, you know, anyway, that in every size. You can really like focus in on some key pieces, right?
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things I do is I have this program where I take a woman's clothes, you know, a computer website, and I move them around and I make outfits. And so when I recommend, let's say, a top, I will take that top and make at least 4 other outfits using that top. And that's the beauty of having the right clothes, you know. So I could take somebody's necklace that they haven't worn in 10 years and combine it in 5 different ways, you know. And instead of having something just lying around, it can be made into an outfit. But the idea is that you can, like the mix and match, you know, it happens very well that way. I don't believe in what's called a capsule wardrobe. I use that for packing. The capsule wardrobes when you have like a few tops and a few bottoms, and that's to me very bland. But if you stick to the best colors for you, everything goes together anyway. It's kind of like a capsule wardrobe anyway, but not quite as boring. So
well, and if I'm traveling and trying to pack light, I definitely will go either in the black direction or in the brown direction in terms of the shoes and the purse and the, you know, whatever. I've got to like just kind of pick which way I'm going and then add some color. So I think you know, I really like the way you talk about it, and it doesn't sound like it has to be boring either. It doesn't have to be like, okay, so, you know, they show in magazines, okay, you got the jeans, you got the khakis, you got the white shirt, you got the white t-shirt. It's like, okay, that sounds just kind of depressing.
I don't like uniforms, you know. And there was a time that was a really big trend. You know, everybody had the khaki, you know, the khaki pants and the white shirt, you know, the white t-shirt, you know, it was a trend, you know, and I hate trends anyway. And frankly, they're not like this. A client sent this to me yesterday. I don't know if you can see this even, but this was in the fashion magazine of a local, in Connecticut, a local place. And this is the outfit they recommending.
Wow. Okay.
Who in their right mind would wear pants that puddle that and the sleeves are and it's the stupidest looking thing. So, you know, I always say, like, just So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with these pictures, like on Facebook. But, disregard all this nonsense of them telling you, oh, this is the trend now, and this is how you should look. You should be wearing what looks right on you, and screw all this other stuff, because it's just trying to make you buy, and it's just going to it's going to sit in your closet and not be worn.
So what about for the fact that for women who are, 40, 50, 60, 70, as we age, are you a believer that there are certain things we cannot, we should not wear anymore as we get older?
I'm not a huge believer in that. I do believe that you shouldn't wear clothes. Like, I can look at a woman's clothing and identify what decade it came from. Okay. If it's identifiable, if it's that identifiable, then I question whether it's the right thing to keep. Right. Because then it's going to make you look older, actually. So, you don't want to look older, I mean, I don't think as you get older, I don't like it on anybody, frankly, but really short skirts, I'm not a huge fan of that on anybody, so I might offend some people that I know, but, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't, if you have the body and you can wear, tighter clothes, and it really works for you, it's okay. It's fine, but I'm not really into that whole, well, if you're over, like, I think Vogue was doing it for a while. If you're over 40, you should wear this. If you're over 50, you should wear this. Right. They stopped at 70, which I always thought was a little offensive, because there are gorgeous women out there in their 80s and 90s who are dressing funky and wild, and they look fabulous. So I think it's really more about personality than it is about your age.
Got you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you started talking a little bit about how you work with your clients. I'd love to hear a little bit more. And I'm assuming it's mostly virtual anyway. It sounds like you've been virtual for a while, even pre-COVID. But how do you sort of work with a new client?
So I've been doing virtual for almost 8 years now. So I was very lucky I didn't have to do the famous pivot thing. What I do is I work on questions. I have to know a few things about you, like eye color and hair color and some size things. And then I have some photographs, and I see how a woman looks in different colors and in a few outfits. And based on that, I make recommendations on what her best colors are, and then what styling details to look for. So for some women, a shoulder seam should be here. For some, it should be here. For some women, they should have what's called princess seaming in it. For some women, a top should be up, up until their hip bone. For some, it should be longer. For some, so these little details is what I give these recommendations. And then I, look through the clothes that she has in her closet. She uploads photos. It's very easy. And then I make my comments and suggestions: what works, why it works, what doesn't, what maybe you should let go of, or what you should be wearing and you're not wearing. And then I create outfits by moving these pictures around. And then I have a lookbook, and then you have these, it's like your own little one sheet, the outfit, all the different outfits. It's really very cool. And I make suggestions what to look for online. Whether you buy it or not isn't the issue, but it's what I suggest you try. And I go back to, just try it, you'll like it, give it a shot, because that's how you find the winners, So it's a wonderful program that I use, and it's for stylists, and it's not so complicated that people think it would be complicated. It's actually very easy and wonderful to do this virtually.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah. And so is it like a certain number of weeks that you work together? Or you kind of like,
it depends. I have a 6-month program, and then I also have, a one-time. So after I do all this work, and I put everything together, then we spend an hour and a half on Zoom and go over everything and review it. And the 6-month program is what I just told you, but multiple times through the 6 months, plus also makeup lessons. I used to be a makeup artist, eyelash recommendations. I have a hairstylist who'll look at your photos and make some suggestions for cut and coloring if needed. And basically, okay, I'm going to be on a Zoom or in person, that's coming. And what do I wear? Scarlett, what do I wear? And I'll say, here, this is what you wear. And I show. So it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. If you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you work with people, talk to people, what you wear is the game changer, because you will definitely make more money and get more clients by how you dress. It is absolute fact.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I know you've got a wonderful free gift for us today. Will you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So, a very common issue women have is wanting to look thinner, wanting to hide usually the stomach or some body part that hasn't quite, cooperated. So I have always been giving tips, but now with COVID, everybody talks about the COVID 10, the COVID 5, the COVID 15, the COVID 20, whatever
Right.
it is, people have gained weight, because eating is comforting. So I created a checklist on ways to use your clothes and accessories that you have now to help you look like 10 pounds thinner now. So it's
Nice.
really cool. So there are ways to wear the clothes and accessories you have now to hide the body parts
Wow.
that have that there's more of now than there was before.
Have expanded a little bit in COVID. Exactly. So,
Yes.
yeah, wow, that sounds great. Thank you for your generosity. Really appreciate you giving that. I'm going to extend a very big thank you to Scarlett for spending her time with us today and sharing so many great tips and advice for all of us as we contemplate how to look and feel better in our clothes.
Work on it now. Work on it now, because if it was a struggle before, it's not going to get any better, because now when everybody starts going out again, it's going to be panic city.
Yes.
Because we've gotten so comfortable.
So
don't wait.
Let it all hang out. Yes. So
no more.
So thank you, Scarlett. And don't forget to check all the links we'll be putting in the comments. And if you enjoy these videos, please watch for more coming weekly. Until then, be well and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.